Where are all the provider good men at? As a dating coach, I can tell you that they still exist. Unfortunately, a good provider man is just not average anymore. And as someone who married a provider mindset man, I can tell you that there's going to be seasons in your life and in your relationship where you might have to do 20-80. Or in my case, for 4 months, it was 40-60. But it was all temporary. And here's one of the things that you need to understand as a lady who's in the dating market. You have to take a risk. There's risk in everything you do. So if you think, okay, so he has good character, he has good money, he has this, he has that, he has that, there's nothing that could go wrong, think again. But where are these provider men? They are literally everywhere. I need you ladies to understand that if you are a man's dream woman, he will move mountains for you to give you the lifestyle that you want. You won't need to force yourself. You won't need to mold yourself into something that you are not. Men are simple. They either love you or they just want you for a good time. They see you as a wife or they don't. So instead of focusing on where are they at, where are they at, where are they at, I recommend for you to build a life of love. Learn to love yourself and learn how to accept yourself and learn how to be at peace with yourself. Because that energy alone is so magnetic to the correct men, and you will intimidate and turn off the men that are not meant to be in your life. As always, ladies, be wise.
Is this a joke? Some days, some months I had to do 20%. I had to put 20% in. Oh no. And when it really got hard, I had to do 40%. Oh no. You know, yeah, man. I'm just saying, you know, because I don't want to disrespect your husband. Sometimes we can say stuff and sound silly. I'll just say it like,
I was snapping this guy while we were together because I'm not a terrible person. Like, I'm allowed to have friends. But he was like, oh, I think you're gonna him, like, blah, blah, blah. And then right after we broke up, because he was a terrible person, I did go and him just because he low-key pissed me off.
These birds' logic are just fucking mad. So she proved the fella right anyway. He dodged the bullet. He said she would sleep with him. She says she wouldn't. But her excuse is, well, I've done it to get back at him. These women don't have God. If you want to try and find a woman of God, download the Avon app. You can ask her questions such as, how can I find a woman of God? And it'll give you qualities that a woman should have to know that she's all for the Lord. After a breakup, women get ran through and try and get back at the fella. But whereas the fella, he improves himself and makes himself more money. So if anything, he's winning. She's falling behind. Stay woke in these streets, Big brr.
I am dumber for having watched that clip.
Being attracted to other people while in a marriage.
What do you do when you're attracted to someone other than your spouse?
Isn't that normal as long as I don't act on it?
Well, it's not normal for me.
You don't find other men attractive?
No. I'm only attracted to you.
Well, that's because I'm a man and we're visually stimulated.
Well, I'm visually stimulated by you.
Does any of that sound familiar to what you've heard before?
And when you play it all the way through, it makes absolutely no sense.
I wanted to defend that I would always be attracted to other women, notice their body parts, and have, from time to time, thoughts about other women. Meanwhile, Caitlin was living in a place of wholeness, saying, I want us to only be us and have nobody else be a part of our emotions or the way we view people outside.
That's what I signed up for in marriage. That's what we all sign up for. We want to feel safe, we want to feel seen, and we want to feel intimate. Intimacy is into me, you see. You cannot have intimacy here if you're bringing in all of these other people into your union. Union is between the two of us. It's us interwoven and connected, not dispersed.
Into me you see, Jim. Into me you see is intimacy.
I am dumber for having watched that clip. That reminds me of like those. Did you ever see like the guys that they're like, there's a lot of prison versions of them where they're like, you atone to the at one. The A tone is the recumbent sound, and the A tone brings you to at one with the universe. And you're like, what the? This is how like QAnon happens. Yeah, I think that. Wow. Like that while they were pretending to be the people having a fake discussion, they sounded dumb, and then they sounded even dumber when they went to the normal selves.
An impressive accomplishment.
So it's like just when I was like, wow, the bar's so low. I was like, whoa, it got lower. Yeah, I don't know what she means when she's like, you're bringing all these other people into the relationship. I don't think he was saying like, oh, I saw this woman and then I brought her home and was like, let's all Like, I think what he was saying is that, like, if you see someone and find them attractive, that's something that you're going, like, that's not a betrayal of your partner. It has nothing to do with your partner. It's just you as a human being or a fully formed adult who may find certain things attractive about other people.
And the worst part about all of this is that not only did she rope him into this, he allowed her to rope him into this. And just sat there and is going along with her foolishness. But you know, good on you, bro, for trying to understand. That's foolishness, man.
Ladies, when you can't find a good guy and you're having trouble like getting your family plans in motion, don't get mad at the guys. Get mad at all of the other trash women that have literally demoralized and tortured all of the good guys that you want to be with so bad that they just gave up. Like, they're not even trying to date. They have literally given up hope of finding a wife and starting a family because of the other women that have tortured all of us.
If a woman gets offended easily, it usually has nothing to do with you and everything to do with neurochemistry. In the beginning of a relationship, her dopamine and oxytocin are high. She literally can't get offended. Her brain filters out problems. Months later, dopamine drops, life gets routine, stress rises, and suddenly tiny things hurt, not because you changed, because her neurochemical baseline did. And instead of saying, my stress is high, her brain says, something's wrong with him. That's why arguments with logic don't work. You're debating her hormones, not her thoughts. Understand the biology, and you understand women. Follow for clarity, not chaos.
Now, this guy here is smart because this is exactly how you're supposed to handle this situation. Y'all check this out.
So apparently she went out and got into an argument with the man. Got to arguing with him and stuff like that. And then I guess like he tried to get physical with her. So she ended up leaving the club or whatever. Her friend stayed, she left. She ended up texting the guy that she was dating, telling him about what was going on. Instead of him jumping to her defense, he said, first of all, you wasn't even supposed to be there tonight.
Yeah, now that's
Secondly, why would you argue with the man in the club and I'm not there? Third of all, why would you argue with the man in the club? Period. You don't know this man. You don't know what he got outside in his trunk. You don't know nothing. So basically he told her, you're wrong. You know, you don't listen. You're at this point, I don't even want to deal with you no more because you won't even allow me to lead. You don't listen to nothing that I say. I'm not about to lose my future. I'm not about to lose my life because I'm defending you when you decided to be dumb in that moment.
And that's the long and short of it. I'm not about to lose my life. How come men are standing by and they're just watching women? Because I'm not about to lose my life because you don't listen. I'm serious about that, man. These guys, some of these brothers are not playing around, especially when you get mad. Not everybody has emotional maturity. Not everybody has emotional discipline. You get somebody mad enough, y'all just clearly talking trash, they will swing on you, or they might pull out something on you. And then you go in there, I'm just here to have a few drinks and head to the house. But instead, the night turns crazy because now I got to start swinging. Who's to say, shoot, somebody come up and they start swinging, hit me from behind. And now I'm on the ground getting stomped by who knows how many brothers. Who knows? Well, they ain't my brother at that point. Who knows how many of them? I don't know. Might be unconscious. Why you sitting back there screaming, "No, please, somebody help." You ain't doing nothing. And it be your fault. It be your fault because you didn't listen. You went in there and got in trouble. And now I got to come in there and try to rescue you, try to get you up out of trouble. Men are walking away from this crap, man.
Won't get a response from me, ain't no confessions. Before I tell a lie,
if it's one thing a woman hates, boy, is a man that knows his value or what he's capable of. And I've experienced this personally, honestly. Like they, for whatever reason, those types dislike when you know exactly who you are as a person and they can't move the pieces on the chessboard the way they want to. Deep down, they know that you can go right back out to the dating market if they decide to leave and get another one of them or better in a heartbeat. And that alone makes you super attractive, but also very difficult to deal with because they can't manipulate you. You're either too smart to manipulate, you're too attractive to walk away from, you're too paid for them to call you broke. They hate it. There's no leverage. And they're like, bro, why is this so well equipped? Because whether y'all believe it or not, there are women that get with men just so they can have the upper hand. They can have leverage in the relationship and be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. But when you come in and you got all infinity stones, boy, they hate you. They hate you. The smart ones are like, okay, that's a man to follow. However, the other ones that like to manipulate and control the outcome of the relationship, nah, they dislike you a whole lot. And trust me, they're going to shame and try to guilt you into second guessing yourself like no other. They're going to tell you you're arrogant, you're conceited, you think you all that, you have a big ego, X, Y, and Z. All because you won't allow them to manipulate you. All because you stand on business. Fellas, don't fall for this. I promise you. The right woman's going to come around and appreciate you for being a well-rounded individual. If you take anything from the video, take this. The more you work on yourself in good faith, by the way, the better options you have in dating. That could be changing.
Y'all, someone brought up a really good point under my video talking about these women claim that they're so independent that they don't need a man. Yeah, you do. I don't care how independent you say that you are. Chances are you are probably still depending on a man in some regard. And I'm saying this because back whenever my husband and I got a divorce and we did our own child support agreement, I didn't know about, this was like years ago, so I didn't know about the $1 billion industry of the child support thing. Now it's obviously different. But I had actually lowered the child support when it went through the courts than what the judge was saying. And back then, I'm independent, I'm a single mom, blah, blah, blah. No, you are a single parent if you are getting zero help and zero assistance. And I'm including myself in that. These women who cry and claim that they don't need a man and that they're independent, I'm a boss babe. Chances are you're probably getting child support. You may have your ex paying for health insurance. You may have your ex paying for the child's sports or tuition, what have you. So remember, I'm including myself in this because even though my ex-husband and I at the time lived in different states and I was getting child support, even though it was lowered from what the judge had said, he would still help pay for our son's activities. Like if there were like sports or anything, he would pay for half of it. And he carried our son on his health insurance because he's active duty in the military. So it just made sense. So even though I was working full time and busting my butt and providing and doing all the things that these independent women do, I was not completely independent. So that is the point that I'm trying to paint here. You women are not independent. And furthermore, I see through the boss babe facade because that was me. Y'all want to be loved. Y'all want to be protected. Y'all want to be taken care of. Y'all actually want to be submissive. You just let culture lie to you.
3 signs he's not toxic. He's just exhausted from her narcissistic abuse. Here's the first sign. You are shutting down emotionally, not because you don't care, but because your nervous system is done being attacked. A man doesn't go silent because he's toxic. He goes silent because every word he speaks gets twisted, criticized, or used against him later. That's not emotional withdrawal. That's emotional self-defense. Sign number 2. You are irritable around her, but calm everywhere else. If your friends, your coworkers, your kids all say you are patient and stable, but she claims you are aggressive or difficult, that's because she only shows you her chaos. She pulls you into arguments you didn't start, then blames you for reacting. A good man under constant attack eventually snaps, not out of toxicity, but fatigue. Sign number 3. You feel guilty for things you never did. Brother, that's not guilt. That's conditioning. The female narcissist trained you to apologize for her reactions, her moods, and her insecurities. You are not the problem. You have just been blamed for so long you started believing it. If this hit home, you are not toxic. You are tired. And you deserve peace, clarity, and real connection again. Follow for more truth and recovery strategies from female narcissistic abuse.
Men who use the term, not all men are part of the problem.
She then goes on to say that Miss Andre irritates, misogyny unalives. Just because it's not reported doesn't mean Miss Andre is not having horrible effects, much more than just mild irritation. And have you not seen this show? It's based on real women. I hate that the majority of men are being blamed from the actions of a few. And all these videos saying all men are a serious issue. How hard would it be to be like, okay, some men do blank. My ex did blank. Instead of being like, oh, men do this or men do that. And it's always followed by something negative. That can't be good for the mental health of the men watching these videos, especially the younger ones who might be a little bit more impressionable. And for the men who are committing crimes, I'm not justifying it, but in a lot of ways they have struggled over time. They've had difficult lives. They have mental issues that haven't been addressed. Us encouraging a safe environment for those men to come forward, talk about their issues, get the help that they need, will bring this number down significantly. If this is an issue you guys are passionate about, you'd think that you would be doing the opposite of what you're currently doing. Instead, men's mental health is ignored even more so. We don't encourage men to get the help that they need. We aren't building programs that help men specifically because some of the resources we currently have are really helpful to women but not helpful to men as much, like therapy.
These modern women think that they're at liberty to do and say anything, just anytime that they want to. Nothing about what I'm doing is going to cause a man to do anything. I can say whatever I want. I can pop off at the mouth. I can talk reckless, and I can expect nothing to happen to me. It's almost like modern women think they live in some sort of game where they can control everything. Like it's The Sims. Like, okay, when I say stop, I mean stop. Right? I control all of these people. I can build your house as much as I want to. I can make you wear whatever I want you to wear, have whatever job I want you to have. And then when I can make you feel angry. I can make you feel sad. I can make you feel happy. I can make you feel all of these things. And then when I say stop, drop, and roll, that's what you as a man supposed to be doing. Stop, drop, and roll. Do what I ask you to do. Do what I tell you to do whenever I tell you to do it. Just get out there talking stupid. Y'all get out here saying all of this nonsense. And then when a man stop responding to it, because it is misandry, how come I can't get him to do what he's supposed to be doing? Do what I want him to do because you were talking stupid. And this is not The Sims. At some point in time, you're going to have to learn to control your mouth. Stop saying stupid stuff and thinking that you're going to get away with it.
I am not a victim. Even if that means he did not do everything that he should have done, and neither did I. And even if I feel like I shouldn't have picked him, I'm sure he feels like he shouldn't have picked me either. But at the end of the day, there is nothing that I am made to do.
Yeah.
Every decision I have made is on me because it's my life. Okay. And that's one of the gripes that I have when it comes to the conversation about single motherhood. We can never just own our part in it and we just say, you know what? I made mistakes. Yeah. I made mistakes. The child a mistake? No, not at all. But I understand that the decisions that I made contributed to me now living a life that is not necessarily ideal.
Accountability. That's what it is. It's okay to say you've messed up instead of just immediately pointing fingers. I'm not saying that the guy is perfect, but at the end of the day, you aren't perfect either. So for you to immediately start pointing fingers and be like, yeah, him, men. What about you? You did too. You've made mistakes too. You've made a decision too. So how about we stop blaming other people and start taking accountability and be like, look, I've made this bad decision and it led to this.
Women hating to see men be happy. They hate to see it. So many women, even if they're married or have a boyfriend, they're like, ugh, I hate when he's happy. Ugh, he's smiling. Ugh, gosh. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand why a woman would want a man to be unhappy or why she just doesn't feel comfortable when he is happy. It is a sign of insecurity. It is a sign of...
3 women die together in an accident and go to heaven. When they get there, St. Peter says, we only have one rule in heaven, don't step on the ducks. They enter heaven, and sure enough, there's ducks everywhere. It's almost impossible to not step on a duck, although they try their best to avoid it. The first woman accidentally stepped on a duck. Well, along comes St. Peter with the most unattractive, hideous man she's ever seen. St. Peter chains them together and says, your punishment for stepping on the duck is to spend eternity chained to this man. The next day, the second woman steps accidentally on a duck. Along comes St. Peter, who doesn't miss a thing. With him is another extremely unattractive man. He chains them together with the same admonishment for the first woman. The third woman observed all this, and not wanting to be chained for all eternity to an ugly man, she's very careful about where she steps. She manages to go months without stepping on any ducks. Then one day, St. Peter comes up to her with the most handsome man in the world, the most handsome, beautiful man that she ever laid eyes on. He was tall, had long eyelashes, was muscular. St. Peter chains them together without saying a word. The happy woman says, I wonder what I did to deserve being chained to you for all of eternity. The man turns to her and says, I don't know about you, but I just stepped on a duck.
Women don't understand men, and that's something that I realize more and more every single day. Women think that men are lonely because they don't have a bunch of friends. No, men are lonely because they don't have peace and because they're misunderstood by everyone in their life, including their woman. Men don't want a woman to come into their life and to tell them what to do and tell them everything they're doing wrong. Men want a woman to come into their life to be happy that they're with them, to be grateful, to be thankful, to be feminine, and to not constantly criticize them and correct them. Men want a woman who understands them, who knows what they need, who knows that they want peace. Because most women only come into their life to tell them what to do, to criticize them, have absolutely no peace.
Never, and I mean never, date an educated woman, a successful woman, a wealthy woman, a rich girl, a dominant woman, a competitive woman, a woman that is fixed on becoming a successful entrepreneur, someone going up the career ladder, any kind of woman like that, you never ever go near. Not because she's evil, not because she's a bad person, but because it is completely out of alignment with her nature. What you have to understand is that women in the modern age are currently operating completely outside of their nature. The feminist ideology that women for the last 50 years have been inflicted upon has been so intense to essentially convince women that their natural existence on this planet, which is to have children, is oppressive. That is one of the greatest tragedies that has ever occurred in modern times. The reason why the messaging is so strong and so consistent is because it is completely out of alignment with nature. So it has to be maintained constantly. If you let up that messaging for just one moment, nature itself would come up and remind women of their actual purpose in this life. We have decided in this world that materialism, money, is somehow more profound and more important than our natural instinct to procreate, make more humans, and continue the bloodline. This is an absolute tragedy. And as men, if you date a woman that is in that position, that she has provided for herself, she has ticked off all of the bucket lists, she's financially stable, she's got everything a man would normally provide her, but she has accomplished it on her own. There is no space for you as a man to enter into that woman's life. And what will happen is the only way that polarity can exist is by the man submitting to that proxy man, which is a woman that has adopted all of the traits of a successful, powerful, competitive, competent man, except one problem: she's a woman. Reality always wins. It doesn't matter how much you try to push against it. Reality wins. Nature wins. You cannot beat nature, and we are seeing this now in the modern age. We as men have dropped the ball. We as men allowed this, and we as men will take it back. If you're interested in doing that, then I suggest you click the link in my bio and join the Better Man Academy. Hope you like that one. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!
Number one thing all men need to know about women is do not listen to a word that she says while she's emotionally intoxicated. Let me explain. By the way, I'm Taylor Love for Men, I Explain Women. If you like that kind of stuff, hit the follow button. Hey guys, we need to realize that women feel about 10 times as much emotions as we do in any given day. And based on their hormonal cycle, which is all over the place, as you know, also feel a massive emotional range that we don't experience. That leads to women getting what I call emotionally intoxicated. So this is the biggest hack if you want to have a thriving relationship with any woman, is to know how to hold the emotional puke bucket. Here's what I mean. Next time your woman or any woman comes to you and she's mad at you for something, she's accusing you of something, and it feels like an attack, rather than getting out your swords and get ready for battle, you're going to get out your bucket. You're going to listen to what she says, and instead of addressing what she's talking about, you're going to say 2 words. What else? And she's going to emotionally vomit into your emotional puke bucket a bit more and tell you what else is on her mind and that's stressing her out. When she finishes that, you're not going to respond. You're not going to try to help. All you're going to ask is, what else? Emotional puke. What else? What else? What else? You'll know it's time to put down the emotional puke bucket when you say what else and she responds saying, I think that's it. Only when she's had a moment to release all of the emotions that have become pent up for her during the day, will she be able to think clearly and rationally and have a conversation with you. And then the ultimate hack, the 333 bonus points upgrade, is once she's vomited all of her emotions, you simply ask her, honey, or friend, or whoever you're dealing with, in this moment, how can I support you most? Is it to hear you, to hold you, or to help you? So often we guys jump to help because we want to find a solution. That's how our brains are wired. You're just being a man. When most of the time, a woman is not looking for a solution, simply looking for a place to express her emotions. And what you'll find when you become a really good puke bucket holder is that a lot of those things that she said, even if they felt like they were directed at you, once she has the emotion out, tend to just evaporate and go away and don't need any addressing in the first place. For more tips on how to love your woman the way she wants to be loved, hit the follow button.
And what he's saying is pretty good. It's pretty good, right? But a woman in the comments is saying, nope, not even close. It's not even close. This is not even close to what you should be doing. Okay. Anyway, she says, well, not with me. Nobody's worried about you, Sydney, or any of my friends. Nobody's worried about y'all either. Maybe all of y'all are losers. I suppose this could work with other women. Of course it can. Of course it can. If you knew what he was actually saying. If a man were to do this to me, I would absolutely feel like he's patronizing me, and that would make me furious. What I believe does work is if the guy stays calm, like he's doing right here, listens and addresses the issues at hand without becoming aggressive or combative. Well, that's what he's doing, right? But what he's saying is sometimes you feel so emotional that no amount of anything is going to address any issue. When you come in on 10, as he's talking about, what can I say? Is there anything that I can do to address the issues? Because by the time a man responds to the first issue that you're talking about, you done already come up with 10 other things, 10 other questions, 10 other accusations, 10 other assumptions to what he just saying. Oh, I did it. Okay. I mean, I'm listening. Is there anything else that's on your mind? Well, I feel like this, and this. Okay. All right. I hear that. I understand that. So, what else are you thinking? Like, because I hear you saying this, and this, and I just want to understand everything before. So I want to understand everything so I respond appropriately to you, so that, I don't jump to a conclusion, and I answer everything, and I can kind of reassure you that I'm actually listening and I'm trying to do whatever it is that, you're asking me to do. I'm trying to work and get better. That's what he's saying. But you and your women, you and your friends are probably, you guys probably have issues. Yeah, that counts private. Yeah. Par for the course, right? But we do have a woman right here that says, this is gold, right? Another guy says, that's fine, but show me what to do to hold them accountable for what they say after they calm down. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. But what he's saying is to try to help you, is to try to let you get out all of your frustrations so that when he responds, he's taken into account, like a good man does, like a good leader does, he's taken into account all that you've said, and he's going to respond appropriately, like a leader does. But of course, y'all probably want to make more problems, and he's not with that. That's why he pulled out that bucket, so you wouldn't continue creating problems and y'all wouldn't be there all night. He'd cut it down to let's talk for about an hour, 2 hours. You want to be there all night until you exhaust yourself and you waste his time. you're trying to lock somebody in all night under the guise of talking about something and just releasing your feelings, manipulating that man.
Sleep with. So never ignore the friend. Number 4, money doesn't matter to me. It matters more than she will ever admit. She doesn't need you to be filthy rich, but she needs you to be resourceful. Women are hardwired to choose the man who can protect and provide for her. So stay broke and watch how that fast love turns into, I need space. Number 5, I've only slept with 4 guys. Take whatever number she gives you and add 5 to 10 minimum. That math never adds up because the truth will make her feel judged. High mileage usually means higher chaos. Number 6, my past doesn't matter. I've evolved. I've changed. Your past is the best predictor of your future. If her history is a dumpster fire of cheating, drama, and broken men, guess who's getting burned next? You are, my friend. People don't change unless the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of growth. Number 7, oh, I didn't see your texts. I'm sorry. She lives on that phone like it's an oxygen tank. She saw it. She ignored it. Number 8, I want a guy who's vulnerable and cries with me. She wants a man who's strong enough to hold space when she cries. She doesn't want you sobbing on her shoulder at 2 a.m. because your feelings got hurt. Number 9, I don't know what I want. She knows exactly what the hell she wants. She just doesn't want you to know that you're not it. This is a test. Weak men chase clarity. Strong men walk away. And number 10, I'm not like the other girls, I promise. Every girl who says this is exactly like the rest, biologically wired to chase strength, status, and leadership. The second you believe her unicorn story is the second she loses respect. Stop listening to her words. Start watching her actions. Words are free. Behavior costs something. That's why behavior is where truth hides. Which lie hurt you the most? Drop your number down below.
So if you ever see a man go from defending himself to just saying, cool, girl, you're in trouble. Don't celebrate that. You did not win. That's detachment. And my sister, you're in trouble. Because that man is over it. He chose peace over proving himself. When a man gets to that place, it's not anger, it's acceptance. He is done. He's done debating what should have been felt. He's done performing for belief. He's done trying to get somebody who doesn't care to understand him because he realizes it's futile. It's never going to work. And here's the thing. Once a man finds peace in his silence, it's going to be so hard to get him to ever argue again. He will watch you argue with yourself and not entertain you. He will listen to you. He will nod. He will look you dead in the face, but he's not going to engage with you because that emotional door, it starts closing.
Most men wait 6 months to find out she's emotionally unstable, but I can show you how to find out in about 30 seconds. And look, man, I get it. The honeymoon phase is pretty amazing. However, as high as those highs can be, if her lows are extreme as well, she's probably displaying a personality trait called high neuroticism, which is just a fancy way of saying she's more sensitive to negative emotions than the average person. But here's the kicker. Neuroticism is the single biggest predictor of relationship failure. And you can spot it early with something I call the no test. Early on, deny a small request. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're genuinely expressing a boundary. So like, for example, if she asks you to cancel plans with friends to stay in, you could politely say, no, I'd actually prefer to stick to the plan. A secure woman respects the boundary. A high neuroticism woman will react disproportionately with anger, coldness, or stiffness, right? Just withdrawing. But don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to go around sabotaging future dates. Just see how she responds by pausing for like 5 seconds. If she seems reasonable and even respectful to your no, then you can reward that by suggesting a new time and date to make it up to her. But here's the problem. Most of you are likely high in trait agreeableness, which is basically the nice guy trait. If that suggestion makes you feel uncomfortable and even like guilty, then I know something about you. You're likely to see the red flags in any woman, but paint it white because you're probably lonely, and I don't mean that in an ugly way. Now, you might be thinking, Chris, I just don't like being rude to people. I'm not asking you to be rude, I promise. I'm just saying if you communicate boundaries early on and she reacts negatively to it, then you have an insight into the future. And standards are something you build for yourself and others. So, if you like this content, go ahead and double tap, leave a like, and 100% share this with some newly single friend who could use this advice, because God knows, sometimes people wear masks, and my job is to help you figure out who you're really dealing with as quickly as humanly possible, so that way you can find the one. Thank you.
I think I would honestly say I wouldn't do this as a specific test, maybe, but I might do this because then I'm actually going to do it. Like something's actually going to come up where I need to say, hey, I'm going to go hang out with them, or I'm going to do this, right? That's just how it's going to come up. I think you have to be careful with like the little tests that you're going to have. I think you can ask questions and make observations. So what would you do in this situation? So how would you feel about this? So tell me what you do about this, this, and this. And really, honestly and truly, you can tell by somebody's body language, in my opinion, and what they're saying, if they're actually going to do it, if they actually believe in it. You can kind of, in my opinion, you can look at their social media, analyze their LinkedIn or something like that, and you can kind of get a feel of who this person is if you're paying attention. You start to imagine in your mind what they talk like, what they might say, what they might do. And then when you talk to them, oh, so this is wrong, this is right. Okay, I'm going to keep this. And you start to form a picture of who they actually are the more and more you talk to them, right? But some of the stuff that you think is going to be wrong, but then some of the stuff that you think is going to be right, but you still have a working knowledge. You're not just, oh, well, I'll just wait until I meet. No, I'm thinking about who this person is when I'm looking at all of her pictures and what she's got going on. And then when I meet her, I'm updating things, right? I'm not holding a bias or a preconceived notion. It's just I'm forming an opinion and forming questions to ask and figure out how to ask them whenever we get on this date or whenever we go out or whenever we get on the phone, because I want to know certain things so I don't waste my time, right? But then you're asking them, so what about this? What do you think about this, this, and this? And give a detailed response. Let her give that response to you and just listen to what she's saying, how she says it. If you're on FaceTime, you just kind of listen to her body movements, and then you give like a couple examples. So like if you guys were going out and this, and this, and you can kind of make it fun, right? You can kind of make it a challenge. Well, I would say this, and this. You don't have to interrogate, but you know, I just want to know. And you throw a little joke out there to kind of loosen and lighten the mood. But I'm just asking questions because I genuinely want to know. We're out on this date, right? Or we're talking, right? We want to get to know each other. I genuinely want to know. Right? So you can ask questions and make observations about it. But I don't know if I would go out of my way. And I say lay traps. I'm saying laying a trap like very loosely, because that's not the word I want to use. But I don't know if I would go out of my way to, you know, kind of test somebody like that.
Why can't you just ever take charge? I feel like I have to handle everything. Really? Because every time I try, you tell me what I'm doing is wrong. It's kind of hard to step up if I'm always being criticized. Well, maybe if you actually tried to do things right for once, I wouldn't have to criticize. Oh, I try. But you just swoop in and change everything anyway, so what's the point? I'm just trying to make sure things get done properly. Someone has to. So you want me to take the lead, but only as long as it's exactly how you want it to be done. It's kind of hard to step into the masculine when you're micromanaging. I am not micromanaging. I just know what needs to be done, and you never think things through. Or maybe I just think differently than you, but it feels like I can't make a single decision without you second-guessing me. Because you don't take control. You're always waiting for me to tell you what to do, and it's freaking exhausting. I just want you to lead. Well, I can't lead when I'm constantly being told that I'm doing everything wrong. How am I supposed to take charge when you're running the show? I am not running the show. I just have standards. Is it so hard to meet them? Yes, it's impossible to meet them. When nothing I do is ever good enough for you. You want me to take charge, but you don't give me the room to do it. Well, maybe I wouldn't feel the need to step in if you just showed some initiative. And maybe I'd show more initiative if you stop controlling every little thing. You say you want a strong man, but you're not giving me the space to be one.
Look at them. Look at how they behave.
Also, can I ask why you guys are so scared to go crazy on a man? You realize these guys love that. Like,
don't listen to what they say. Don't listen to what they say. If a man's mouth is moving, it's lying. Just kidding. But like genuinely, when it comes to men, you cannot trust what they say. Trust their actions. Just try being crazy on him. Try calling him out for something that really bothers you that like he will deem as crazy. Like, I don't know, liking another picture on Instagram. See what happens. Is he actually gonna leave? No. They might say that they don't like when a girl does that. I don't like crazy. I don't like this. No, every single one of them likes it.
I believe that those crazy girls ultimately don't get picked. They don't get the ring. And if they do get the ring sometimes, those guys wind up in a mess, right?
Just a married pregnant mom, but I still shaved my entire body for this concert just in case. If that wasn't disgusting enough, take a look at these comments. Are the chances low? Yes, but are never zero. So you're saying there's a chance. This is a married mother with a child. 33 weeks pregnant with twins, but that will not stop me. You got this, mama. Married woman with a baby on the way. Girl, my husband said you're 2 weeks postpartum. Why don't you just wear leggings? Excuse me, sir, you think leggings are appropriate attire for meeting my boyfriend for the first time? Funny thing is that she turned comments off for her video, but too late, sweetheart. I saw them, and now we've all seen them.
I know that people think this is a joke, and I know that people claim this is a joke, but what you're actually doing is obsessing over celebrities and causing a strain on your own relationship by your husband simply not being good enough. You're also publicly disrespecting your husband. And thirdly, you're lusting after another man. If you are a married woman, with child or without child, you are lusting over another man.
Do not need men. They are an added bonus and fun in our life.
Love men. We need men. Only men can be fathers. They are irreplaceable. Thank you for being willing to risk your life and even sacrifice your life for other people. I think women, we're used to saying, we love mothers, we need women. All of that is true. And we shouldn't be afraid to express that same gratitude and respect for men, because men, we need you and we appreciate you.
Tell me why my husband gets home for lunch. I'm like, you want anything to eat? I can make you something. Anything you want to munch on. He goes, peanut butter and jelly. I want 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, this man could ask for anything. I would have made him anything he wanted. We have leftovers. We have chicken and pasta. We have burritos that I can smother in queso. He's like, no. P&J. What a man. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's easy. It makes my job easy. I don't mind it. It's just funny. Like, I'm literally at your beck and call, and he's all, go make me a sandwich, woman.
It's really this simple, ladies, because it's not about what is actually in the sandwich that makes it taste good. It is the level of effort and care from the person that you love making you something and handing it to you, combined with the fact that peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are consistently delicious. I dare say that everyone has at least one memory that really stands out about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that was given to them and how delicious it was. I have two. One was when I was in high school. It was a full day of cheerleading competition that I had participated in, and my mom finally showed up with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was starving and it was so good. The second was when I gave birth to my now 19-month-old daughter. The hospital kitchen was closed, and so I couldn't get anything to eat, and her dad went out and got a Uncrustable for me. He found that like in the little kitchen at the nurse's station, and I had never even had an Uncrustable before. It was so delicious, and it was just from the effort of him going out and get it. And plus, I had just like labored for a while and was in terrible pain. But there's just something about it, ladies. Like, I'm serious. If you really want your way to a man's heart, just do something like this.
Why do women respect men who aren't afraid to lose them?
Because biologically speaking, I know it's a silly term, but the alpha male hundreds of thousands of years ago had access to multiple women. And women are looking for certain status indicators that the man they're with are a so-called alpha male. Silly little term, but it just means tribal leader. Because biologically, you want a guy who can protect and provide. Now, in Ireland or in the US, there isn't just one tribal leader anymore. So how do you judge whether the guy you're with is actually competent and confident and he has resources and he has good genetics? Well, you look at certain signals, certain honest signals. And one of them is him having abundance. If a guy is desired by other women, you see him in the presence of other women, you're like, oh, there's something about him. It immediately makes him more attractive. Now, if he becomes a total player, that reduces trust. That's a value-trust dynamic. What increases his value in the marketplace oftentimes reduces trust, and what builds trust sometimes reduces value. But wanting somebody who's desired by other women, that is very natural. And if you are willing to walk away, or you at least sub-communicate that on the first date, it implies that you have options.
Hey love, the bin's still here. You said you'd take it out this morning.
Oh, and what about last week? You forgot to do the dishes. You're not perfect either.
You're right, I'm not perfect. I did forget the dishes last week, and I owned up to it.
You just act like you're perfect.
I make mistakes too. The difference is I don't avoid them by bringing up yours. I face them, because that's how things get better.
Whatever, Arlo.
When we deflect, nothing changes. The problem stays the same, and the blame just circles around until we're both tired.
I just don't like you pointing out every little thing I do wrong.
I don't point it out to tear you down. I point it out because we can't fix what we won't admit. Accountability is being honest with yourself and your loved one, not about being perfect.
What I would probably say is while y'all are solving y'all's problems and y'all trying to figure out who's going to do what, when, and where, while you're holding that coffee, you had that conversation. You take one of them trash bags out and throw it outside in the trash can, right? You take maybe even a couple of them, you put that mug down, and then you got two of them already taken care of right there. I don't know how many you had. I forget that, but you know, you already got two of them outside. And if you got three, I'm sure your trash can outside is a 95 gallon. It can probably hold that third one and maybe even a fourth one, right? And that's clean. That's done, right? And so while she's still washing the dishes, you can say, yeah, so what I was saying, and go ahead and mop that or sweep up whatever it is. That's going to take you probably about a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes, and y'all can continue that conversation. And when you're done sweeping, you can pull out the mop. You can pull a little Swiffer, right? You put that thing on there, squirt something a little on the floor, whatever's got you, your little power mop or whatever. And while you're doing that, it'll take you probably 5 minutes to hit that floor. You're not, unless you're doing like a deep clean, a deep scrub, which you're not clearly. You can go ahead and knock out that floor too, right? Obviously, if you don't have like one of those automatic robot mops or whatever. So that's just for my own sanity. Just looking at what you guys got going on